Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. GEICO. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys 19-9 fall on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was supposed to be a matchup of two of the top offenses in the NFL. Instead, it was actually a defensive-minded matchup, and the Chiefs come out on top at Arrowhead Stadium, and we're going to break it all down for you here on Cowboys Game Night from the Star in Frisco, alongside the six-time Pro Bowler, three-time Super Bowl champion, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. And Nate, where do we start here? Because the Cowboys just did not get it done on the offensive side of the football, held out of the end zone in the loss to Kansas City. The defense had their positive moments, but ultimately it was the offense that just never really got started. And we thought that was going to be the big deal. You know, two explosive offenses, and neither one of them got on track. They won the game, of course, but our offense never found traction. Our offensive line did not play solid and with any continuity, so it hurt us. Dak, he was just out of whack today, you know, because he had constant pressure on him. But in the second half, our defense played well enough for us to take that game. All we needed to score was one touchdown. Do you feel like the Cowboys beat themselves in this game, or is it really just Kansas City trying to prove something a little bit on the defensive side? No, it was Chris Jones. It was Chris Jones on your left side, Chris Jones on your right side, Chris Jones up your middle. He made a bunch of plays, him and Frank Clark, and they just had a great day. I think Coach Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, dialed up a nice game. They had been sleepwalking for the first 6 or 7 games, and they played a good defensive game today. Kansas City's now won 4 straight games, this one with 3.5 sacks from Chris Jones. We'll hear about that a little bit more later on. But first, let's go back out to Arrowhead Stadium and hear from Dak Prescott at the podium.
Talk about that, trying to prove to yourself that you can play with this team. You want to be in the Super Bowl like the Chiefs. How disappointing to come out and play the way you played, especially early. You guys couldn't get anything there. Yeah, it sucks, but I tell you, we're a confident group, and the defense did plenty enough for us to come and win this game. And so the offense didn't get the job done. That starts with me, and it starts with the way that we communicated and executed. So I've got a lot of confidence in this group, and as I said, we're a resilient group that will get better. So there's no worries or no discouragement on what our future holds. So as I said, we just got to learn from this and make sure that we take advantage of an opportunity on the road against a great team like this the next time.
How surprised were you about the issues you had up front, especially getting the ball going on the run game and you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean it's a good D line. I mean Chris Jones is a great player over there, along with the rest of the guys, and they did a good job, and they got us tonight. They got the best of us. I think it started up there, but started in our communication and us just executing out wide when we had a chance to make plays, missed a throw early, did make some catches. So I mean, all of us can take part in this loss and be accountable for everything that happened out there.
There wasn't much passing offense on either side. Certainly, most of the yards were underneath. The wind, was that a factor in the game?
No, I don't think so. I believe in my arm being able to throw in the wind or with the wind, whatever it is. I'm sure the other guy on the other side thinks the same. So I don't think either team worried about the wind. It's just kind of the way the game unfolded.
The interception in the end zone, did you not get enough air on it? Do you want to get it deeper? What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to give my guy a chance. So, I mean, I'm not going to regret making that decision. But, yeah, as you said, I mean, maybe I got to look at it and say get more air under the ball. Maybe put it in the back corner in the end zone. I mean, I think the defender did a good job shielding our guy off. And I'm sure CD wants that back as much as I do. So. Yeah, I mean, I talked to him. He said he was fine, said he will be okay. So I didn't necessarily know what was going on, but that's kind of the nature of this. You got to continue to move on, trust the guys that we got out there, and that's what I did. And he'll be fine, so we'll be okay.
How much does it hurt not having Amari for 2 games, in part because of the decision he made?
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate not having him, but to say the decision he made, I mean, me vaccinated, I can get it and be out 2 games. So let's not try to knock the guy or put the guy down for a personal decision. I pretty much would. I don't know if there's anybody that's come back under 10 days, honestly. So you give me that stat and you give me the number of people that have
flashback, vaccinated or unvaccinated, faster than that time and test it out, okay, we'll go from there. But, I mean, that's my team. That's my brother. We're going to support him. That's his decision, as I said way back in training camp when you guys asked me this question. So, yeah, unfortunately we're not having him, but I know he'll come back and be beneficial for us in the late part of the season.
What's the challenge when you don't have him, you don't know until Friday?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that is just an opportunity for other guys to step up and make plays. I mean, we've had different guys, including myself, go out week after week, and other guys have had to step in and make those plays. So, I mean, it's challenging when you're missing a guy like Amar, who's such a playmaker and dynamic, but we've got to be able to go out there and win without him.
No Amari Cooper in the loss to Kansas City. Also, CeeDee Lamb missed the second half into concussion protocol. He will be reevaluated throughout the week. But when we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we hear from Micah Parsons, who had a couple more sacks as his incredible rookie season continues.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly.
A pair of sacks for Micah Parsons as he continues to set the pace for all rookie defenders in terms of the sack column here in 2021. Here's what he had to say at the podium following the loss to Kansas City.
Feel overall defensively you were able to keep this team in the game tonight. It just didn't work out for you overall.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played great defense. I mean, that team could give you 45, 50 any given day, and to hold their explosive offense to under 20 points, I think we definitely did the job. But at the end of the day, if it come down to it, we got to win on us. So we got to keep them to 0. So, I mean, it's good, but it's not good enough.
How disappointing is it to lose on a day like this when you could have had a statement win against a team like this?
I mean, it's always, losses is always disappointing, but like I always say, it's always an opportunity to learn. It's always an opportunity to get back to the drawing board and get better. I mean, I think every week we learn and just get better, whether we win or lose, so it can only keep getting better. So.
Do quarterbacks understand or grasp how fast you are at this point?
Not really, but just gotta keep showing them every week. Just gotta keep this using my speed, using my strength, and keep going downhill and keep doing what I'm doing, and they'll eventually see.
Can you take us through what worked on the strip sack and how you got going up?
Speed. Just got around the edge, hawked him down, and was able to get the ball out. Knew what hand he had the ball in, was able to punch it out, so I think that was a big play for the team.
You guys were in two-eye safety a lot more than usual. What was kind of the game plan there, and how do you feel like as the game went on that played out in your guys' favor?
I mean, I think it really played out to our favor. I mean, obviously, no one's blind. I mean, they got Kelsey, Tyreek, some of the most explosive weapons in the league, and I think we had to make sure we didn't get beat by one play. Yeah, I mean, if they were going to score, they had to earn it, and every point they had today, they earned. So kudos to them. They're a really good team. Like I said in the week, those losses don't matter. I know they're a championship team, so.
Would you rather play defensive end?
That's some pretty good perspective from the rookies, talking about how they can build off of this momentum moving forward, and holding a Kansas City offense as explosive as the Chiefs are to under 20 points is certainly something to build on as we take a look at some of the final defensive stats from the 19-9 loss. And Nate, really throughout all 4 quarters, it was a slow start for the defense, gave up 9 early points, but from then on out, it was really limiting the Chiefs' offense, and that was the key to at least keeping the Cowboys within reach in the ball game.
And you look at Parsons, he never gives up anything. He's relentless, man. He makes plays at the big time. That's an impact player. That's a budding star. Guys that make plays when you need it. We were sitting here talking about, man, they need to make a play. Here come Parsons around the corner at the defensive end position and makes a big play like that. You can't ask for anything more. This kid is mature, and I hope he stays that way. I hope he just keep building on his game.
He could certainly be special if he continues on the same trajectory as he has been throughout his rookie season. Now, really quickly here, how do the Cowboys keep that momentum going on the defensive side of the football after a performance like this?
If we can get a few guys back healthy offensively, we can roll like that and let this kid and turn this kid loose. We'll be okay.
So the best defense is a good offense?
Okay,
is that
yes,
what you're
sir.
talking about?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
flip it around. Complimentary football. We love it here on Cowboys Game Night. When we come back, we hear from the offensive side of the football. Connor McGovern in his first start of the season. How did it go? How can he improve in the Cowboys offensive line as a whole right after this?
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly. This segment is brought to you by GEICO. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Cowboys offensive line with a couple shifting pieces. Connor McGovern gets to start at left guard. Terrence Steele back at left tackle with no Tyron Smith out despite some of the early reports this week. Well, it didn't look great for the Cowboys offensive line. 5 sacks allowed of Dak Prescott. But here's what Connor McGovern had to say about some of the improvements needed.
Before we get to the outcome of that, I mean, just excited to get, when you first started, but excited to kind of get the start. And what was that feeling like here?
Just a good feeling just to get back out there and play and all that. A little bit different playing fullback and all that. Yeah. Being back in left-handed stance, felt good to be back out there.
How good was that front today? They did a lot of.
They're definitely a very good front. You got to give them their due and all that. Now we just have to get ready, learn from this one all we could do better, and just get ready for Thursday.
Were they doing anything different that you hadn't seen before, or did they just seem like they were executing? They tackled, they filled the gap?
It was nothing out of the box like we haven't seen from the film. It's just we had to execute better as O-line. We were communicating all across the board. That was fine, but we just had to execute better.
Short week coming up here. Is it a good thing? Can it be a good thing? I mean, as long as people health-wise is okay.
I would say I definitely think it's a good one to get this taste out of our mouth, get back right into it in 4 days. So I think it'll be a good turnaround.
Does this hurt the confidence of the offense at all? It's number one offense going into. No,
I don't think so. We'll be right back on track. And just learn from it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Obviously, a bit of frustration there from Connor McGovern. Excited about his first start of the season, but at the same time, he knows exactly what the film is going to show when they go back to review it. In your initial viewing, Nate, from a 6-time Pro Bowler on the offensive line, what went wrong specifically for that offensive line?
Continuity. Lack of continuity. They hadn't played together enough to, just be crisp in what they were trying to do. And then Chris Jones was very crisp in what he was trying to do. He penetrated the middle of our defense. He got around the end of our defense. We just have to do that. Just play with better technique. Just play a little harder, play a little smarter with better technique. They'll be all right. Coach Philman, I believe in him, and I think he'll get these guys going forward.
With no Tyron Smith today, there's still hope that he returns for Thursday's ball game. Is there anything that you would have switched up front with Connor McGovern, Connor Williams now heading into a short week?
No, I believe in what this coaching staff is doing. They have not done anything wrong. They got to get his kid, Connor McGovern, a chance to see what he can do. And if he get Tyron back, that's automatically going to make him better. That makes everybody better.
What did you think about Lyle Collins, his 4th game back from the suspension, 3rd start in a row?
Lyle is still working on his conditioning. He's still working on his technique. Lyle, you got to move your feet and get that punch back, my friend. You got to get the man. Stop with these circling the hands. Get that punch back, man, and get your confidence back. You'll be okay.
They had a tough time protecting in front of that Kansas City front. Chris Jones had a fantastic day. Frank Clark forced a fumble, and the Cowboys, of course, gave up those 5 sacks of Dak Prescott. What about the guys Dak was throwing to? No Amari Cooper, no C.D. Lamb. How does Cedric Wilson feel like the wide receivers fared in the 19-9 loss? We'll hear about it next.
This segment was brought to you by GEICO. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Welcome back to Cowboys Game Night, where Dak Prescott and the Cowboys fall on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs. 19-9, the final score in the game. Dak Prescott with 15 incompletions, 5 of those, though, coming from drops from his wide receivers. C.D. Lamb did not play the second half. He left the game at the end of the second quarter with a concussion. Amari Cooper not available today. So it was really Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, and this man, Cedric Wilson. Here's what he had to say after the game.
How frustrating? I asked Zeke the same question. Just so you guys were a lot of anticipation about this game. How frustrating is to come away 9 points, not doing enough there for your defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely frustrating whenever you don't come out with the victory. And, I mean, I feel like just a few plays that we left out there that we got to get and we usually get, and I know that we'll get in the future.
What, even on your – you had a couple drops there, but the reverse one like that, is that just one of those things where you're kind of looking to make the play and don't even get your eyes off of it?
I mean, the drops that I had out there, I definitely got to pull the ball in. I mean, that's my job, and that's my part in the whole 48 of what we're doing here. And then on the specific sweep play, I thought it was a handoff, not a toss. So that's why.
Oh, you thought you were getting a handoff there, so that could be problematic. With Thanksgiving coming up, obviously Amari could miss the game and CD could miss it as well. What do y'all do as an offense? Is it still next man up? You know it's going to be a lot more attention on you.
I mean, whatever the coaches call, and I know that, I mean, I'm ready whenever those guys can't go, and sad to see CD go down like that, but and then obviously the shock with Coop, but I got to get in there for my team, and whatever they roll, I'm going in there. I got to execute.
With a game like this, a 4-day turnaround could be tough. Is it almost better, though, to say, hey, we got to get this taste out of our mouth and go win?
Yeah, I mean, this team is very good at moving forward and staying neutral, and, I mean, that's what we got to do. When we had a great game last week and then come out here and get the short end of the stick, so that's just how football rolls.
Were they doing anything specific that you guys weren't aware of? I mean, or that weren't maybe ready for it, something new that they hadn't shown on tape before?
I mean, they came out there and played a good game. I mean, that's a good team that we just played, and I feel like they played their techniques, and they came out with the victory.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
You saw the numbers there for Cedric Wilson. Does not having potential of Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb this Thursday worry you on Thanksgiving?
No, I think these guys will be all right. I think they'll play hard, man. Like you said, the lack of communication. They was in a hostile, loud place, and you can't have a lack of communication. You got to almost know what you're doing when you're going in there. You got to be able to read each other's mind, and they didn't do that very well. Like you said, he thought it should have been a handoff, and it was a toss. So when you see the mistakes like that, it'll cost you in a game of this magnitude.
Hopefully getting some practice reps throughout the week might help with that a little bit forward, and you think, at least with those two guys, there will be more practice reps for guys like Cedric Wilson. When we come back, we wrap things up here on this edition of Cowboys Game Night.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, Reliant, and NRG Company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Cowboys fall on the road at Arrowhead Stadium to the Kansas City Chiefs. 19-9 the final score. Did not hit the 300-yard mark as they were held to a season low in total yards. They didn't even hit the century mark in the run column either. And as we wrap things up here on Cowboys Game Night, Kyle Youmans alongside Nate Newton. Nate, when you look back at this 10-point loss to Kansas City, what are you going to remember?
Remember, we didn't play well as offensive line, and we needed to today against Chris Jones and Frank Clark and those guys. We had to play good. Now what we have to do in coming into this short week is make sure that we are mentally ready for this and be sharp, and that our technique as an offensive line, one unit, play real well together.
Is that the biggest point of emphasis going into a short week of practice before taking on the Raiders on Thanksgiving?
Yes, you got out of here relatively healthy. So now what you have to do is make sure you're mentally ready, because you can't do much physical work. So you have to be mentally ready, and looking at your opponent, just look at a little film over time, and you should be okay.
Yeah, the biggest question, I think, health-wise going into the Thanksgiving matchup, probably CeeDee Lamb, who, like we said, was placed into concussion protocol, was held out of the second half of the loss to Kansas City, and maybe he'll be available on Thursday. Still a huge question mark around, well, who has been the top receiver for the Cowboys here in this 2021 season. That does it for us here on Cowboys Game Night. Again, the Cowboys fall on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs, 19-9, the final score. For Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Youmans. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.